Welcome to episode 7. I can't believe we're still recording this. And this is
Beer Talk.
Okay, right now we're in
Brunico.
Brunico, yes.
Brunico, Italy.
Brunic.
But we got here via Seabrook and Innsbruck. And when we were in Seabrook, Seefeld.
Seefeld. It's actually
That's not even
Seefeld.
wrong.
It is Seefeld.
The German is Seefeld.
Seefeld.
Yeah, do we start over? No. Anyway.
No, we love our mistakes.
Jerry wanted to share some of the stuff from Oberammergau.
Okay.
Well, we had a cocaine-induced tour guide. One of the most enthusiastic and vibrant tour guides we've had, leading us through Oberammergau, and he'd actually been in performances for years. You have to be a townie to be in the performances there, so it is an amateur show, etc. But the costuming that they do, the setting that they have, Oberammergau itself is just this phenomenal setting with this.
It's the Jesus Passion, the story of Jesus' life, and they do it every 10 years, which they've done dating back to
1634.
1634. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Such a commitment from the community. But the thing that struck me with it was it would be a fabulous setting for a murder mystery. a murder in Oberammergau would be with the religious connotations, the structure and pettiness probably that some of the villagers have towards each other, and this once in a lifetime opportunity to be Jesus Christ. There are two Jesus Christs, they split the role, and whoever came in third would certainly have motive, and you'd have all sorts of intrigue, history.
Are you introducing your new book? Is that what you're doing?
Well, I'm going to contact Kate Atkinson or Derva McTiernan or these fabulous writers that do the Agatha Christie, P.D. James setting and intrigue, etc. It'd be fabulous.
So I'm not sure if this is the right place to mention this, but we're on the Colette tour, Peaks of Europe. And so we've been going through the Alps. And this is the first time we hit the murder mystery.
But with the Passion play, we really tried to hang Tim on the cross, but he couldn't get the part for some reason.
I didn't measure up.
You've been there for 20 years as a resident.
I think so.
20 years as a resident, and the staging that they have is phenomenal.
It
really is.
It is.
So that was the day before yesterday.
Right.
Yesterday we went from Seefeld to Brunico via Innsbruck.
Yes.
Innsbruck, gorgeous city, the big city in this Tyrolean region. And we had a nice tour. Go ahead.
We had a great tour, and I'm fearful to ask, but Jerry, what'd you think of the church?
I sold it short when I talked about Catholics really kicking ass on their cathedrals, because this one was amazing, so colorful, so dynamic, so beautiful. It really was.
Yeah.
It was the
inspiring. Yes.
Wilton Basilica because Pope John Paul had been there 20 years ago or so. So it gets to be a basilica. And it was, as Jerry said, it was really unbelievable. Now, you didn't say it that way. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, that's probably a more appropriate analysis.
Yeah. Since when do we do appropriate?
Yeah.
And our tour person was fabulous. She did a really nice job getting us around. And so, what were some of your highlights from Innsbruck?
Gosh, we went to a place we've been to a long time ago called the Golden Adler, and loved what they had as special for the day. It was a combination of potatoes, beef, and an egg on top. And I don't get that much back in North Carolina, so that was good. The whole city, the Altstadt, the old city, I think is one of the most authentic of any you can get to in Europe. It's beautiful.
I do think for our lunch,
At the beer garden.
It was very appropriate that we were at the beer garden, don't you think?
I think so.
That was all with the
Because-
musician.
Beer garden.
Now, Kathy got also, because she's an English teacher, when we ran into you guys at the Adler, you pointed out all the people who have eaten there, like on this board, from like 16
Oh
whatever.
yeah, over the last 400 years. It's been there a long time.
And she's always taught the strangers, so she found Albert Camus who had eaten at the Adler. So
There you go.
yeah, etc. So.
But we had the beer garden. We weren't nearly as highbrow as these guys, and with the Oompa band there going in the background, and a variety of pretzels and
You say they had a harp in it?
schnitzel.
Yeah,
they had a
oh, she was really working
Harp,
at it.
accordion,
She was the
stand-up
most
bass
intense-
fiddle,
That's the
Intense
first time I've
and
ever heard of a harp
and two
and an oompa band.
flugelhorns.
Yeah.
She was relentless with those strings too. She plucked like her little heart away.
Yeah,
It was
they,
great.
they were great though, really energetic.
She was the mother plucker, wasn't she? I don't know.
Edit.
Yeah, so
Mikey!
So Tim, how was your sausages?
Well, I had 4 different types of sausages, and they were very good. And but
You
I
weren't waving at your sausages, were you?
no, I wasn't. That was Bob and Diane.
Oh, okay.
There's a little ditty about that.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. He even sets himself up. How can you do that?
Mellencamp wouldn't like that. Okay,
No.
never mind.
So after Innsbruck, unless you had something.
Well, yeah, Laura.
well, we got to see the Olympic. We saw the Olympic ski jump too.
Oh,
The
yeah.
90-meter ski
Yes.
jump.
Yeah,
That's true.
We've been to several existing or future Winter Olympic sites on this trip
Yes.
as well. So.
Yes. And Laura and I went up into the tower. Did you guys go in the tower?
No.
We were drinking beer at the beer place.
Beer garden.
The view up there was.
We're otherwise occupied.
We
Yeah.
had the soccer tour while you went up there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was good.
So then we finished up in Innsbruck. We headed back to the bus and we came to the Post Hotel.
Yes.
Where we
And
are right
Behind
now.
us.
Yeah.
And
Great place.
dinner last night was wonderful. In episode 6, you saw Corrado's rendition of how to pronounce the dish we had last night, which is
Gnocchi.
yeah.
I want to go back to one thing though, because it was one of the most phenomenal things I've ever seen, and that was at a music
yeah.
festival. We thought it was just a festival with items for sale, food to eat, but as we got closer to that part of the event, we heard music, and I sensed that it was live music. So we went down, and there was a group right beside the band, first row, probably 8 or 10 people, that were singing and standing on the table, standing on the benches, really having a good time. Apparently they had played before the band that we were listening to. And one guy who had a beer that was about, well, frankly, our puny
It
compared
was
to
probably
his.
a liter.
It was one of those big ones.
Yeah.
He was rocking back and forth with the music, and he fell off the bench. It was about that, wasn't bench they were seated on, it was about that high. Fell backwards, initially hit his back on the table behind him, and then the back of his head or neck on the second bench that was behind him. The entire time he ends up down like this, and his beer is still not a drop
right.
spilled. I've never seen like it.
I think you need to do it with the beer.
Yeah,
Jim.
yeah.
He was much younger than we are.
Nobody gets hurt.
We also saw Tim and Mike and I in Oberammergau saw the wedding party with the Oompa band and the bride on the. I noticed they were on benches, so they were all standing, and the bride had on a bridal dress. Everybody else had on true Bavarian.
Right.
I don't want to say costuming; it's their traditional.
Maybe standing on
Bavarian
benches
style.
is the thing
So
here.
there was some Lederholzen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this
It was
was a
good.
little festival here in Brunico, just a beer festival and sausage and other things. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so jump forward into the night and Glenda's trivia night.
Yes, there were 4 teams when we all assembled, and trust me. Well, actually, Mike was on my team, so he knows I didn't see any of the answers beforehand because I was not contributing as much as he was, not nearly. But it was a fun night. She just loves doing stuff like that, and it's the teacher in her, I think. but
Yeah, she made up trivia, various things on the trip preceding this point.
had to do with
Well-
places, heights, all kinds of specific trivia.
Elevation.
Elevation.
I needed some fair warning about this because I felt bad because Cammie wanted me to be on her team thinking I knew things, which I don't. And I thought this was vacation. I'm not paying a bit of attention. I'm just looking around.
Yeah, and she's asking for exact.
Oh my God, yeah, to the meter
Yeah.
on things.
yeah.
You thought it was just a conversation.
Yeah, I thought, this is fun. I'm just looking around, etc. And
You'll be ready tonight,
I was supposed to know how high the fountain in Geneva
Yes.
spews into the air, which is phenomenal
I
amount of
only got
distance.
about a third of the height that it
Yes.
was.
And which team won?
I think we did.
Yeah. Yep. Braggarts.
Yeah.
Should we do today?
So
Cheaters.
we're gonna end episode 7 here. We did have a whole thing of stories to tell about today, but looking at the time, we're out of time for this episode. So we're gonna say have a good night, and this is
Beer talk.